Hi everybody, this is part 2 of my video of the LE40B530 with the backlights shutting down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble the LCD screen and look for that ccfl tube that is more likely loose here. As you can see here, around this area it's a little bit darker going across the screen, so either the tube itself is gone, the ccfl tube is gone, or it's actually after coming out of its connector. So I'm just going to pause the video and reposition the unit. Okay, I'm set up now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the screen from the bezel. First of all, I've got to just take off this stand, which I had secure temporarily with one screw. Then I'm going to take off the two PCBs just to keep them safe. Removing this connector, and the connector from the power supply. And this one here goes down to the infrared receiver. Now I've got to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. We've got a connector here on the power supply, and of course just remove the power supply as I directed on my last video. There's 6 screws holding it in, and remove the connector and just pull out. Slightly. Now, just get the speakers out of the way. Just get them into the shot. There's one speaker here, and another one here. Just they'll actually pull up and held in with tape. Put them aside. Now we got to remove this bracket here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 silver screws, which will be self-tapping screws. They will, when you remember when you're putting them back in, that they go into the actual bezel. Now we have black screw and another black screw, and we have 1, 2 here on the side. We'll remove the 2 at the side first. Now this bracket should remove. Okay. Now we have a few more screws to get out. We have the clamp here, and another 2 clamps at the top. One here, another here. They're held in with self-tapping screws. Right, now we have another 2 screws here. Sorry, one here and another here at this bottom corner. And they have a little washer on them. Now, what I do now is I normally turn over the screen. If all the screws are out, the bezel should slide away from the unit. Now, we're there. Now, the next thing we have to do is take this metal frame off around the screen to get access to the lamps. Let's see, will it slide up? Right. That's the metal frame out of it. Okay. Okay, I just had to turn around the screen to get access, to be able to show you this on the video. We have 2 little clips here, one here and another here. You just lift the tab up and lift the tab up in this one. And the cables then should slide out. Normally I wouldn't lift these up, I'm just so that the camera can see it. Right. Now for the most delicate part of this procedure, lifting the screen off the frame. Very tricky. It's like a very delicate piece of glass and it can crack at any moment. So I'll be very gentle and very careful with the next steps. Right, I've got to unhook this and unhook this. I would prefer if there was a second person here to lift this out with me, because I normally grab each side, and if you can see it there bends in the middle. You don't want too much of a bend because it will just snap. You would need plenty of room in your workshops to do this, and as clean as possible have our workshops. Now we have this plastic frame that's got to come out, and it's normally clipped in. Clips at the side, just pull them out. Easier said than done. same should come out. Okay, I'm just going to put this back in, turn it around so everything is put back in the same orientation. Alright. Next thing we have to do is take off all these assemblies here. All these, this diffuser. I take them all off together. I don't separate them because that's more chance of dust getting in between them. Okay, let's put it out and let's give it aside. Now we're back in the backlight assembly. You can see here are the ccfl lamps themselves. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 14 lamps in total. Right, next thing we have to get off is these white covers each side. One runs down each side. That covers the connectors. Okay, start with this one here on the left hand side. Same this side. There's little clips each side, you just push them in the screwdriver. Okay, now we have access to the connectors. And the problem we have was with the top lamp, which is this one here. This side is okay. Now, oh, here we go. Now. Right, I'll just zoom in there and we should be able to get a shot of it. Just going to try and focus that. As we can see here, this has actually come out of its connector. I've seen this on a few of these types of this screen. Let me get the screen type. It's LTF400 HA08. You will find them in different manufacturers, not only Samsung. You will find them in different ones. Now I'm just going to slot this back in. It only slips back in. Now, okay, let's reset. Now I'm just going to check the rest of them, make sure everything is secure on the rest of them, because one creeps out, you could have another one ready to fall out. Now I have noticed here in the centre here, there is retainers. Plastic retainers to stop these tubes from bending. It is possible. Oh, there's nice and stiff though. It is possible that they come out in transport. The plastic is broke there and here. I don't see any bits of plastic sitting in the frame. Could have happened in manufacture. plastic broke. They do get brittle. As you can see, this one here just bends. That. It should be in. I'll just zoom in there so you kind of get a shot of the plastic there for you. And you can see that little connector. There should be a second lug here at the bottom that holds that in place, and it's just flopping about. I'm going to have to come up with some kind of a fix for that. Can't use glue, wouldn't last long in there. Maybe a small cable tie or something like that. Don't know. Come up with something after, but that's for another video. For now, you see the problem I was talking about the fluorescent tubes coming out. Now we're going to reassembly on it. I don't want to blow up too much because I just see a few bits of dust in there. Get them out. Next thing we're going to do is put on the diffuser. Make sure they're lined up correctly. You don't want any strain on the screen when you're putting it in. Yeah. That's good. Now, to put this screen back in, this is, as I said, done on plastic and cover that goes in. Right, only goes on one way. Right, try this way. Push it in so the clips. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Make sure all the clips are in. Now we're going into this bit now of putting in this actual LCD unit itself. Be very careful with this. If you hear crack, you know it's gone. As I say, I would prefer two people to be able to spread the load out. Now, what you have to make sure now is before you go to the next step, which would be putting on the metal frame around it, this is actually sitting down. If it's not, when you tighten up the metal frame, it will crack the edge of the screen, which will make it not much good anymore. Only good for throwing in the bin. Yeah, there's little frames that they sit in between. Just make sure each corner is sitting down on the plastic. Okay. That's looking good. Now, what I normally do is I would normally put in these two cables. Put the PCB in the little clips. There's two PCBs and there's clips that it just sits in place in. And then slide these cables in fully. Okay, that's that in. Next step now is putting in the metal frame. And like the plastic frame, it only goes in one way, and what I'm looking at now is we got a little cutout here, and let's see, cutouts, 1, 2 cutouts here, so you will align with them. Now we start putting in our screws for the metal frame. The long silver ones. This type here. This is where you'll know if you put in your screen correctly or not. They're not that hard to strip down, it's just that you need a clean environment, not much dust around. Not a thing you could do in your sitting room. I wouldn't recommend it doing it in my sitting room. You need a bench, you need to be able to put things out in some logical order, like for when you're putting it back together. If any doubt, don't do it, bring it to someone else.